I had a very, very rambunctious youth. I said in my announcement speech that I have so many skeletons in my closet that if they could all vote, I could run for king of the world. Mm-hmm. So, there's Vanity Fair is recycling.
You're listening.
Yeah, like all the time I'm listening.
You're listening.
Yeah, like all the time I'm listening.
With Christian, Eric, and Carl sometimes.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood bar.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're having fun. We're making it happen.
It's fun time.
Open your mouth, close your eyes. We're going to give you a big surprise.
And here it is.
Welcome to Who Are These Broadcasters, where I have the unfortunate circumstance where I may have jinxed us. I was talking about doing a show with somebody with really shitty internet, and then my internet kind of crapped out right there in the intro. But that's all right, because Eric Zane, if people tune into Who Are These Broadcasters, there's one thing that they should always expect: crap, right?
At some point, yeah. But yeah. I would say of all the shitty shows that exist, we roll with the shit. But it's like that REO song. You got to roll with the shit. We roll with our shit.
We definitely roll with our shit. I was on WATP in a recent episode, and we covered a show. iPod Rex, as you guys Vinny'd the opening. We absolutely Vinny'd the opening. But a wise man once said, that's why pencils have erasers. So anyway, let's move on. Eric, I need to make something up to you, because on our previous episode, I neglected to take the time to wish you a happy birthday, which I knew it was your birthday because we're a couple of gay boomers who are Facebook friends. So it's the only reason I knew. You're not going out and telling people, like, make sure you wish me a happy birthday.
No.
Here's the charity you can donate to for my birthday. So anyway, I thought it would be great if I could get a cameo from someone you really respect to wish you a happy birthday. But instead of that, I figured I'd find an existing cameo that I think I should share with our audience.
Oh, come on, do it.
What you waiting for? I don't know if you know that
Probably
song.
not.
Mrs. Pillarito.
I don't even know that song.
My name is Eric Zane. Your happy husband, Joe, is kind of behind this, but actually, your dogs reached out to my dogs and said, can you please wish our mom a happy Mother's Day?
So, Eric Zane, you're on Cameo? I don't know why you never promote that. For $20, EZ can send you a personalized greeting. And don't send him any coded words. Try to make him say something that you think will get him in trouble. He uses those words anyway. How have you been hiding from us that you're on Cameo all this time?
I don't know. I think I'm glad you found it. This will elicit, this will ring in many, many fun moments. I'm sure there's a lot of them on there.
Yeah. And I'll tell people, if you don't start buying cameos from Eric Zane, I'm going to start showing more of them every week. And honestly, it's win-win for me. It's another win for the toe if I get to play more of them. But if you do start giving Eric money, then that's good for him.
There was one I did for a guy, and I don't know if you can find it. I had the dogs with me on a leash, and it was, hey, happy birthday, you fucking fat pile of shit. And I'm like, you know what I think of? You know what I think of when I think of you? And it just so happens that my dog had actually the shit started to come right out of his asshole. So I put the phone right up to his asshole.
I think if we show that on YouTube, we'll get Carl in trouble. So that means we'll show it next week. Don't worry. In any case, we appreciate everybody being here. For our audio audience, this just shows up like normal, but I'm taking my family on yet another vacation, so we are recording it a little earlier than usual. Think of this as the pre-show to Who Are These Socials. There were people in the chat as we were starting, Eric, who were like, oh, starting early today. And I'm like, oh, you're about to be very disappointed.
Yes.
You're still hours away from Blind Mike and Carl.
Right. Thank you to Two-Face Lying Bastard for $1.99 calling us dorks.
Do you see the two faces that he's chosen for his avatar?
Yes, I love that so much.
Buddy,
that's our fearless
buddy, Carl
leader.
Hamburger.
I love Carl Hamburger.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh! I had a great time on a recent WATP with Carl and Lucy and Cardiff and producer Chris. What were you going to say?
Oh, that's wonderful. It's always good to be on there, and I would love to be back on there too. I had to turn him down for the first time not long ago, unfortunately. But I did want to point out that if you want Christian to sign off with something blasphemous or terrible or insulting or in a creative way, you can make him say something about his love of the Third Reich. You're more than welcome to do that. The one with the highest dollar amount, Christian will say that at the sign-off. So there you go. Just something to think about on the Super Chat. You can also get posted if you're just goddamn funny. So be funny.
Yeah, and our chat usually does, and it's a good time to remind everyone the tickets are now on sale for DabbleCon 2, August 16th and 17th in Rochester. Get your tickets at carlsoncomedy.com. They're going fast, and neither of us will be there. So right there, that's more reason to get your tickets to DabbleCon 2. You don't have to mingle with Eric and I.
By the way, have they started referring to Vinny as skinny yet? Has anybody ever started calling him skinny?
Oh, I wish I'd had Cardiff send me his Vinny theme songs that he plays. It's like the Ozempic theme, and it goes Pauline Ozempic. So I would have played that right now, but I'd get a cease and desist from the potato.
Yeah, he's looking good. I'm happy for him.
He does, yeah. I saw him literally a year ago. I was in Rochester, and it's like he's a different guy because I saw him again at Hackamania. It's he's half of Vinny, so good for him.
Nice.
Although I hear tell he's half of something else, but that's not the time to talk about that. Let's start the show the way we usually do with local news.
Others imitate. We are
very slow.
Whoops!
I'm hitting him. No, I hit it.
Yeah.
And
others imitate. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Stop with the singers today because I hit it. You saw it. It started and then it didn't actually play. I believe that this is my issue. This is a problem I'm having.
We're rolling with the shit.
That's
with
right.
the shit.
That's what we do. Well, I hope that the clips play. Otherwise, this is going to turn into a particularly long episode here of the show. But let's get that comment off the screen. That we don't want everybody to remember what dorks we are, Eric. All right. So as so often, we do like to start our local broadcast segment with bears, and we didn't have any bears in our most recent episode. And I've been saving the bears because Eric wasn't with us a couple weeks ago. But I do have a pretty good one here that I think we're all going to enjoy. This is a friendly bear story, and hopefully you see it. There we go.
Life there on a pool floaty.
She jumps right on the pool.
This was yesterday afternoon at the couple's home. They caught the mama bear and her cubs just enjoying the pool while on a lunch break. We spoke to the homeowners about this cool moment.
I was in the kitchen, and when I saw that she was going into the pool, I was like, oh, I'm going to grab my phone.
So it's interesting that the home owner, I guess he had like just a buddy come over and hang out. I know they said homeowners, but I see two dudes, so I'm not sure I quite follow this story. What do you think, Eric?
Bear in the pool, and one of these two is the bear.
And I think we all know which one it is. Let's have some more bear fun, and they're going to crack themselves up in the studio for this.
And I just luckily caught her hopping on a floaty, which I've never seen in my life.
And get this. This is a very, very pleasant guest here. None of the floaties popped. The family climbed the tree before. Just wandering on.
My first thought is how coordinated the bear is to be able to get. I have trouble getting on those sometimes.
As gentle as a ballerina.
I'm just right on floating away.
I see you trying to walk to set
I know,
sometimes.
right?
So what we're learning is that Cindy there's a drinker, Eric. I think that's what they're trying. That's what he's trying to tell us. It's like,
Boy.
yeah, I mean, you can't even walk down the hallway, you lush.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, love the bears. You know, I every time I see these videos, I'm like, how can they be so vicious? They rip your face off. Come on now.
Yeah, well, you know, just don't get in the way of their food, and it'll be fine. We've got another animal video. That's our only bear story for this week. But I'd like to introduce Eric and our entire audience to Tiki, the tow truck primate.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a spider monkey over here in the Bronx, y'all. Look at this. Look at
a
this
spider monkey in the Bronx.
Wilding right now.
All right. He's in the tow truck.
So this is Tiki, y'all. This is the Bronx monkey. And he's going, he's licking the mirror. He's trying to get some water.
Tiki.
He's licking the mirror.
Look at Tiki. How old is he?
3.
3? That's
my
what's
God.
up, bro.
Got to
Yeah,
channel my
so,
inner Kumi out there because there'd be a lot of great jokes if I could just tap into that resource.
I think I'll make sure we'll back channel that. Make sure that that Anthony gets to see Tiki, the South Bronx spider monkey who works for a tow truck company. There's nothing funny to be said about that, people. So please don't super chat or even regular chat your jokes about that, because we all agree there's nothing funny about that. Right,
Yeah,
Eric?
whenever you guys make those racist jokes, we don't find those funny, and we do not want to post those and then read them feigning disgust. Okay,
Yeah.
that ain't cool. All right, I'm just
Right,
gonna say that.
Yeah, right, exactly. And Annie's talking about it's good to see Annie in her previous category. There's a lot of talk about the bears already, but I'm sure nobody has any thoughts on Tiki, the tow truck primate. But I thought it would be, like, hey, cute little monkey. Let's go ahead and introduce it to people. This one was sent to me by Paul Wormeskerkin. And Mr. Green says that monkey towed my car. And yeah, it's probably, I don't doubt Mr. Green. So Paul sent me this one, and sometimes local ball club will have a bring your family event, and the local news gets involved, and sometimes it goes really well and it's a fun afternoon or morning for everybody, and then sometimes something like this happens. Let me make sure everybody sees. So she tosses the ball. Oh!
Glitching. I can't see it. All I see is the back of her head.
On live TV. That's
okay. So you see this chick's head, but you don't see the video playing?
It was like jumpy to me.
Are you able to catch this?
Okay. So the important thing to see is how this the ball hits this chick on the head, So this little it hits a little kid. So this reporter throws the ball and it hits this little kid on the head. And I don't know if you get to see that at all, but is it playing all right now?
It's not playing all right. It's kind of like 1995 of first video you've seen on the internet. It looks like a big, huge pile of shit, frankly.
Oh, well, see, that big, huge pile of shit, it looks okay when I'm playing it, but
Wow.
Judging from some of the other issues that we're having today, that makes sense.
I don't know if the audience might not be seeing it like that. It might just be on my end, though. I don't know for sure.
Did everybody get to see the reporter hit that baby in the head? That's the real question. Let us know in the chat. Eric, I'm going to let you vamp for a moment because I'm going to try one thing with my computer that, this is a great time early in the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to let everybody know where they can find your show.
Well, yeah, let's start with the cameo first, okay? As Christian was saying, if you have someone who has a birthday, maybe you want to break up with a girlfriend or a boyfriend, I can do that shit. In fact, when people hire me on Cameo, cameo.com/Eric Zane. Let me tell you this. I do mine live, like while I'm actually on my show, which I do every day, my show on Twitch. I got a Cameo. I'll hit it and do it. Zero rehearse. Just crush it every goddamn time. They're always hilarious. They're always special. And the thing is, I've had people hire me on that, and they've said, "Easy, this is for my kids. Can you be sweet and nice and kind?" And I am. It's perfect. And then someone says, "I want you to be an asshole." And I'm versatile. I'm really great at this. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. $20 a pop. No one gets turned away. If you want me to say racist shit, I'm saying it. I'm going full racist on Cameo. Christian said, don't say anything racist, easy, but I am. You hire me and I will say hardcore racist shit on Cameo.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's always got racist stuff to say. Yeah, exactly. So only $20. He'll send a racist greeting to whomever you like. All right, let me try that. It's basically I'm trying the same video, not because the video is so great, but I want to see if it's any better now.
Yep. Yep.
Was it any better this time?
No.
Ready? Are you able to catch this?
Okay. So I'm just going to skip that video because the bears looked fine. Remember when we saw the bears and the monkey?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
They were
that
fine.
Was fine. Yeah. So I've got a local news hit that was shared from the great Twitter site Awful Announcing, which they usually have a lot of sports clips, and I'll admit many of our sports clips do come from there. But this was a local news report, and you have to watch through to see the person that they interview in here. Let me know if this is playing well.
All right.
Worms are a nuisance. Jack Mehoff has had quite a few encounters with the insect.
Man, I hate them worms, man. Hate them worms. I got a lot of cats.
So the key here is the person that they interviewed, let them know that his name is Jack Mehoff.
Mehoff has had quite a few encounters with the insect.
Man, I hate them worms, man. Hate them worms. I got a lot of caterpillars under my corkboard. One time there was one on my shirt. I flicked it off and it landed on my cousin Jimbo. And he was definitely scared of worms.
What the fuck?
Jack Mehoff.
It's just it seems like there's no way he could actually be real, but he is. He's
yeah, I
real.
look, I'm sure his name is not Jack Mehoff. That's the reason why we have the clip. But I think the guy is really just a guy. Yeah.
I think that might be his name. I believe that might be his name. Am I an idiot for thinking that?
Yes. Yes, you are. you're a real Jack Mehoff if you think that that's his real name. But that's what we love about our buddy Easy is that it's very easy to pull one over.
I don't believe that. I don't believe you. I mean, I think that there's a chance it could be. I mean, it's probably not, but you seem to act like you know.
What's that?
I say you seem to act like you actually know.
I mean, I'm fairly sure that his name is not Jack Mehoff. I don't know. You know what? In the chat, why don't you tell me if you believe otherwise?
Okay.
Well, we've got a special presentation as part of our sports segment here. There was a very unusual promotion at Dodger Stadium, and our buddy Reverend Shitstain let us know about it on the Discord for Who Are These Podcasts. If you join the WATP Discord, we have a channel over there for WATB. I get a lot of great clips over there. Sometimes some of them play, sometimes some of them don't. And Adam Lassiter asked, can Zane Jack Mehoff for $20? So Adam Lassiter, I think, is picking up what I'm putting down. And I think there's more Jack Mehoff comments in there, aren't there, Zane?
Let's see. Jack Mehoff wrote into Bill O'Reilly one time. There are clips of it.
Yes, that's true. And Mr. Green says he's a cousin of Hugh Mungus. Yeah. Jack Mehoff is, I believe, the Bill O'Reilly clip. All right. So at Dodger Stadium, they had something called Hollow Live Night. They had a special ticket pack, and I'm showing our viewers that there are some anime girls.
Yeah.
And one of them has a shark tail, one has bunny ears. And there really is only one person that I trust to guide us through something like this. These HoloLive VTubers. So I welcome back to the show the Reverend Shitstain. Reverend Shitstain,
Hello,
great
gentlemen.
to see you.
Yes, I have my VTuber avatar loaded, as you can see right here.
Nice.
I am getting into the VTuber game. My name is Carlson. You can find me. I will be completing my avatar in a cow bikini soon. I'm flashing that. So. But yes, hello, gentlemen.
It is great to see you, Reverend Shitstain. I love Club Footson or whatever you're calling that avatar that you have there. So before we try and Annie Orion, Annie, the great review girl Annie says, "Ew, it's so pedo coded." Yeah, I think that's I think that's the road that we're about to go down. So explain this. And I'm afraid to find out how you know so much about this, Reverend.
Well, I'm an otaku, as you might have been able to find out. I have Japanese shit right behind me everywhere. I'm an anime con goer. Here's my most recent hotel card.
Oh, okay. So you're
I'm into this.
You're an expert.
I hate VTubers though. I fucking hate moe shit. I don't like cute girls being cute girls. That's like a whole thing. I fucking hate it. But let me give you a quick history lesson. So
please.
Cartoons in Japan have always been kind of a cultural thing where in all ages there's cartoons describing whatever. It goes back to the woodblock prints of the 1700s and stuff, and going forward. And they really got into an animation boom. They were the first country besides the US to boom into animation. And it's led, down the road in the 60s and 70s. There were some export shows that kind of came over to the United States. Then in the 80s, and they had their economic boom. You really started to see anime take off, and you saw idol culture take off. So Japan does their pop music and pop stars and comedians and stuff completely differently to the rest of the world. It's very come and go. Everything is hyper manufactured. Everything is literally a character. It's as consumerist as you can possibly get. And that culture has evolved into, well, I don't want to see real women. I want to see my cartoon women that I watch sing for me, dance for me, play video games for me. And they'll do ooh, cute noises and whatever and go, ooh. And they look just like regular cartoons in motion because of the technology that we have. And oh boy, if people don't love to just shill out money. This is $1 billion industry, gentlemen. It is insane.
Should we again, Annie did say that
Annie says pedo coded. It's not pedo coded. These characters are all played by adult women. The characters are all adult women. That's just the moe style is cute girls with big bug eyes and cute designs, and aren't they so adorable? That's just a thing in Japan.
Right.
And people who have gotten into that culture, otaku, whatever, people that used to be into anime as kids or whatever, and have grown into idol culture and shit. Well, they go for that now in the United States, and there's this big cultural clash happening where, well, there's all this weird crap happening in Disney and other American animation industries where there is obvious weird shit going on in there. But now as Japan's kind of bringing their culture over, well, they've always had adult women depicted like this, or late teenage girls depicted like just overly cutesy, extremely, cartoonishly over the top cute. That's just how they do things. Everything is over the top.
Let me get a couple comments from the chat in, Reverend. So Patrick Belmar says Bugs Bunny and drag, not new, but Annie has some really well thought out opinions on this. Some of these women are playing a character that they admit is 8 years old, and then sing about you wanting to hit on them, and then going to jail for
there are. That's another thing. There are thousands of VTubers now. It's exploded. VTubers.
So Annie says, these characters on screen are adult characters, but not all VTubers are. And I'll let you finish.
Yes, that is true. Because it's exploded to the point where now there are porn stars getting into VTuber shit. Now there are mainstream American industries getting into VTuber whatever. And with that comes, there's going to be the weird cut off segments of perverts doing their thing and fat chicks on the other side of the screen that don't really have a moral compass or whatever, and are just scamming these dudes out their dollars as they role play as these characters. And that's what it is.
Well,
and that kind of shit.
I want to talk about how interesting it is that
fan.
they had a Hollow Live VTuber night at Dodger Stadium, but May Quite no, that's okay. The history lesson's important. May Quite says yes, please. More of the everybody else is a creep except for me. Now.
Oh, I don't like that. I'm not a fan.
Now you get the show. Yeah. Oh, I don't think she's talking about you, Reverend. You were very clear that this is not your thing. So. And again, I learned about this on the Discord, and I intentionally didn't read up that much of it.
Yes.
But so they have the night at Dodger Stadium last week.
Baseball is massive in Japan. Yes. And this is a common thing in Japan. VTubers making appearances at not just baseball games, but other sports or government events. The Japanese Self-Defense Force military has their own official anime girl characters that are painted even on some of their jets, that advertise in this style to join the military.
Wow.
So before we move on, I need to ask Eric Zane, what do you think about this bullshit?
I think I'm actually quite interested in the history of what he described, because this is all very interesting, and he does a good job of explaining it. Have you ever, would you ever go to Japan, or have you gone to Japan?
Yeah, I would love to go to Japan, but there was the whole COVID restrictions and shit going on, and now it's just expensive. It's a pain in the ass to get the money to go. I would love to go. Yeah.
Very interesting.
I appreciate it.
No, it's a fascinating place. I went, like 30 years ago, but
you might have experienced it when it was more hyper consumerist.
Yeah. Well, and the thing I know about anime is that a lot of anime is aimed at adults. Sort of, I'm talking about the videos where there's like all these, the tentacle porn where they grab schoolgirls and they violate every hole. Yeah.
That's again.
So saying that's next
exists,
level.
That exists, but that's also a way off in the corner. And the adults that usually watch it, I had it up there at one point, like Galgo 13 and stuff like that, where it's
I remember that
Assassin Man and shit like that, or Hokuto no Ken, where it's just buff dudes beating the shit out of each other for 128 episodes.
Well, Annie is worried that she's going to get her ass beat by an anime girl. All right. So, and May Quite says you're poor.
Working
Quit
class. What can I say? Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I'm not Carl. I don't have 2 houses yet.
But you're not John with 0 houses. So
that's true.
Maybe your mom owns 2 houses, but we can move on from that. All right. Sorry. So they have this night at Dodger Stadium. And so for the majority of the people who go to see what looks like a sold-out game against the Milwaukee Brewers, the 7th inning stretch starts, and here's what we see on the screen. And this person pans the crowd. It's pretty much a sellout. 55,000 people.
And it's a sellout because it's anime fans.
Listen to this guy. By the way, that's why I played the video as long as I did, because the guy who filmed it, he doesn't sing along, but it's like, let's root for the Dodgers.
You can tell who the core crowd for VTubers are is not the average person.
Right. So it sounded to me like they were saying whoa, whoa, whoa for the Dodgers.
Probably doesn't know the words.
Is that a jizz monster?
No, that's a shark girl.
That's a shark girl that we're looking at.
Her name is Gargura.
Well,
it's a shark girl?
Yep.
Looks
she has a tail and a hoodie that has teeth. That makes her shark girl, and it sells millions of dollars of merchandise a year.
Right. It was one of the images that we were showing from that earlier picture. It showed the shark girl, didn't it, Reverend? Yeah. So we had that in there.
These VTubers, by the way, aren't just in Japanese. Hololive has an English division. One of the biggest people, I think, is one of theirs, Pipkin Pippa. She pulls in millions of views, and she's just some chick in the middle of nowhere, United States, and she role plays as a bunny girl with big ears and pink hair, and she gets money just tossed at her by the fistful. It's big business.
Yeah, now that's got to be all sexual, right?
There's a lot of porn of these characters, yes.
Okay.
It's just the same thing as men watching, Alinity or whoever else these big whores are on Twitch that sit there with their tits out. There are some of them that just go, oh, I like the cute anime characters, but I would say 90% of them are looking at porn of them after the stream.
Did you hear about Sketch?
Yeah, we did it. Apparently, Sketch is gay, from what we hear. Yeah.
Sketch is
All right.
doing gay porno.
Yeah, that's what Sketch is up. I didn't know who Sketch was until he started doing gay
I didn't
porn.
either.
Which
I thought
tells
he
you
was
which
into-
news alerts that EZ and I have. Yeah.
I thought it was like Down syndrome porn or something, because that's what it looks like he has. Anyway.
All right. So the Reverend requested that we try to pop in for like a minute or so. One of these live chats. So
skip ahead
this
to just
one,
wherever.
Yeah, this was her birthday. So
you're gonna have about 20 minutes of free stream nonsense, and just skip ahead to like somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, so she's talking to them now.
Where do we start? Shark City Live, and then Lolicami finally featuring all of you.
I assume they always
I
talk
wanna-
like this, Reverend.
Yes, this is their character, and I want to put my fucking fist to the screen. Oh, I hate it.
All of you.
Oh,
Do you guys hear
this
yourself?
is called
There were
Moe
so
voice.
many.
This
There
is
were
like
so
what
many of
characters
you.
do
Oh
in
my
anime
goodness.
when they want to be so
Also,
cute
if you weren't
girls.
expecting it, I wonder if
And
you
it
guys got
just
shocked
makes
into
me-
like
Oh.
you weren't expecting to hear your voice afterwards, right? And then all of a sudden,
So she's very excited that all these people have shown up for her birthday stream.
and also really sweet of her, but she let me change
And
the lyrics to
the chat just flies by. So John would say that these are fake
which is
chats.
really, really
These
nice.
aren't
Tens
real
of thousands
chatters,
of people
yeah.
in that chat
Thank
room.
you. And you guys maybe aren't members,
We're
and you're
doomed.
wondering who
We are doomed.
those.
Oh yeah,
Who are those?
this show right now. What are we
Right.
at viewer wise? I know it's just the
Incredibly
JV league
well
of
mixed,
WATP. 58 views.
fantastic.
Oh,
Let me
yeah,
tell
that's-
you,
that's
this
good for
chick
us.
right
Those
now,
were the
there's
voices of
YouTubers
your
that get
fellow
58 views and they
chumbads.
just start up one day, and there you go.
Chumbaboos.
YouTube 50 views.
What's
The
interesting to me
Chumbaboos.
Yeah,
is people
so,
that are
I-
watching this people who are watching this are going to take care of us when we're old.
Mm-hmm. No, that's probably gonna be
Yeah,
some like
I hope so.
some woman from West
So
Africa.
Fuck, I'm
Gura
old now.
here has 4.49 million subscribers, so 4.5 million. And I wanted to mute it because Jesus Christ, she's driving me crazy. But I wanted to also show just how fast the full chat is going by. And there's all the member posts. I don't know if they're super chats, but this is a model that we should try to get behind. Zane, our show should be more like this, don't you think?
Yeah, I guess we're just supposed to say, well, we do say stupid shit. I guess we're not that different.
You need to
but
be.
We
a
are.
woman.
We gotta be cute.
Yeah, you need to be a
and-
woman that can go. Ooh.
Yeah, I guess. Ugh.
Now here's the other flip side of this. Because this has gotten so popular, and because the core crowd is like outsiders in America anyway. In Japan, this shit is completely normalized. There's VTubers for salarymen, like that are dudes that just talk about salary news, right? But in America, this is mostly targeted towards outcasts and weirdos. So there's VTuber channels that are coming up, thousands of them. You might get them starting to show up in your recommended feed because you just pulled that video up, Christian.
100% I'm
there's gonna
going
be
to now. Yeah.
People that just have 0 viewers, 1 viewer, and a shitty little cartoon model, and they have a Patreon sticker and a merch thing, and they're tied to some league, and they're like, "Hey guys, I'm a VTuber."
I want to bring up this comment from the chat because May Quite seems to be having a very specific point of view on this. Yeah, cuteness is just the worst thing ever. We need more grizzly buff guy VTubers.
They exist.
Yeah, but I think that Zane and I, we don't know anything about this shit. We're fascinated. Reverend Shitstain wanted to give us a little bit of a tutorial.
Cardiff,
I do agree with
Cardiff.
what Annie says.
Yeah.
Cardiff is the only
I was gonna
VTuber I
say.
like. Shout out Cardiff, cease and desist. But we all love Cardiff.
He is a VTuber. He is. He hides
Yeah, right.
behind the mask. He's a character. Well, I say hide. He is the character.
So
good for him.
John would say that all like Shark Girl and I don't know, Bunny Face, they're all cowards because they're not showing their real face, right?
Yeah, probably. How dare you go up there and try to make millions of dollars putting on a voice? Oh.
You sent me a video that posted like yesterday, a music video, and it went up to like 3.5. I'm not going to play that song because honestly, I feel like it's okay. Yes, it's terrible, but also I feel like the easiest copyright strikes to get are music. Probably. And if a page with 1 million subscribers has 230 views in the space of not even a full day, this is probably something that is copyright strikeable. So, Carl got struck at our last episode, Zane. He told me it was because we showed the BET in memoriam. Yeah, where they shouted out the great O.J. Simpson. We learned our lesson.
So that's, and you said, and you're allowed 3, right?
Yeah, I think if you take it down, it's fine. So it's all right. Yeah, we have gotten Carl struck before. Yeah, he's fine. Yeah. He said he just went and edited it. But so you're seeing in a moment, there's this music video, and it's kind of what it's very consistent with what we're seeing. But like you said, it has like 330,000 views in 14 hours, Reverend. And
230, yeah, and it's just it's an American VTuber. Her character is just an adult tall girl. Her thing is that she's tall with big old titties, and that her character colors are kind of like half and half. That's her thing. That's her character. What differentiates her from every other character? She's tall, has big titties, and has kind of half and half color. Everything else is just and this is just her during like a Initial D clone music video, and it's terrible singing.
To wind down the VTuber part of our conversation, but I want you to stay for the next couple clips. Do you think that the Dodgers organization realized what they were getting themselves into?
Yes.
Okay.
MLB.
You do think so?
Yes. This, like I said, this is a perfectly normalized thing in Japan. In Japan, their mascots for their teams are anime girls and furries generally, and they advertise them as such. There's tons of character art of them. They go to government events. It's all integrated, and MLB is partnered with the Japanese leagues, and they knew, well, the youth they want baseball. There's a 10-year low in baseball, and ain't nobody giving a fuck. Well, we want the youth to come, and you saw that 55,000 sellout. This is going to be a completely normal thing in the next couple of years. The old man crowd, and I don't mean to call you two old men,
Oh, it's all right. We call ourselves that.
MLB, is just going to become anime girls. Who knows what basketball is going to become? It's going to become, father-son teams up the ass.
I like this. I like that they're doing that because this is a young person's game. I don't give a fuck what gets them off.
It is what it is.
But it's Matthew.
All right. I agree with Matthew Zizzo. Not that it's boring, but I could see how people would look. I do find it fascinating. And the whole thing is very weird, but it makes sense. Obviously, the Dodgers signed the biggest MLB, or they gave out the biggest contract in MLB history to Shohei Ohtani. So they have a huge Japanese audience now, which, they probably always did, but it's obviously a lot more eyeballs over there. It makes sense. So this is a level of weirdness that I can't understand, but there is something that I think I can get a little bit of a handle on, and that's furries. And wouldn't you know it, my New York Mets were in Pittsburgh the same weekend as a furry convention.
Yes,
so we're going to see from the broadcast a barge of furries going down, I don't know, whichever of the three rivers that is. Let's say it's the Susquehanna. Fight me if it's the Allegheny, all right? But so let's see the furries crossing over into Major League Baseball.
This is continuing.
So there's a boat full of furries characters. You can get a decent view of them. I'll have some still photos in a moment, but let's hear Keith Hernandez and Gary Cohen discuss the sights, the sounds, and the possible smells of the furries.
Flood. Do you think that the non-furries there are the partners of the furries, or are they just people who incidentally showed up for that cruise? I mean, they're all out in the sun in those very warm costumes.
I understand. And they smell.
Yeah, and Mary Quite says Tukey is the only furry I like. I agree. Whoa! Hacka. Husey! Eric Zane is so handsome that I forgot I was a homophobe. Oh,
hey, don't say that. Eric Zane has said that I have very beautiful features before.
You do. You're very soft face.
All right, save it. All right, get a room with the Reverend.
Save it for the next furry convention. Jeez.
Yeah, right. I'm sure you're going to be invited, Easy. Now, Eric, of course, like furries have been around for a while, so this isn't that new of a thing. That VTuber shit, I don't know what was going on there, but I think we all are at least aware of the concept of furries, right? But,
yeah, absolutely.
But, you know, maybe for our audience, I'd like you to explain what you think a furry is, and we'll go from there.
Okay. My definition of a furry is a person who dresses up in a costume for sexual gratification.
Yes. Okay.
Is that about right? Is that about right?
That's about right. And they, while not always, they will sometimes actually have sexual relations while in the furry suits.
Okay.
So they have ones that are built in specific ways.
Okay.
I remember months ago on Who Are These Socials, I sent Carl and Blind Mike. There was, I can't remember which one I sent them, but there was a dating service for furries. And I appointed myself the furry correspondent for WATS. And then I didn't get hired for a few jobs. So then I realized I should stop billing myself as the furry correspondent for WATS. So there weren't just furries on the barge that went by in Pittsburgh that day. So the furries were in the stands at the game. And, you know, look, it's not the most shocking thing you've ever seen. But I think for most people, seeing stuff like this is, especially at a hot day in humid Pittsburgh, this is not necessarily what everybody's expecting, you know, is,
well,
what do you think of furries, Reverend Shitstain?
Well, I would say I can't reveal power levels of anybody that's within the WATP discords or anything, but there are people within this community that most definitely went to Anthrocon, not me, but there are people that went to Anthrocon. There's WATP furries, believe me. It's
not me. I didn't go. I think Leo Gunn, Dirty Deeds, Flat Cat Jessica.
I have a prejudice against the coast. I don't want to go there in the first place. But no, so furries, fursuits especially, like I said, I went to NakaCon. There was a big furry meetup there. A lot of furries are just autistic people that don't like going out in public unless they can be like their character or like kind of hide their face in general. That's why a lot of, you know, autists love the whole COVID shit with the masks and whatever, even though it definitely helped according to the WHO.
I've never heard that. I never heard that. People with autism.
I'm within these kind of circles. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, dude, it's a big thing now. In my line of work, my professional line of work, I see a lot of it. Like 18, 17-year-olds, especially girls, they buy these masks from Walmart, these like dinosaur masks. They paint that shit. They put feathers on it. And they're like, I'm a fucking furry. It's just like VTubers. It's becoming a generational gap, and more young kids are getting into it. It's just a thing for autists to go out and enjoy themselves. And, you know, there's the 20% of people that are hardcore perverts and do it so that they can fucking not see each other's faces.
Well, all right, now you're making some sense here. And by the way, I always figured that your professional life, you were an ordained minister in the Church of Shitstain.
That's my side gig.
Oh, okay, that's a side hustle. Well, Reverend Shitstain, thank you for shining a light. You always bring us some of the weirdest corners of the internet.
Well,
VTubers, I had no idea. If I had been at Dodger Stadium that night, I just would have been lost. But I also might have been assaulted in the parking lot by some chick with a shark tail. And by the way, I didn't want to lose this comment from Chris Tuthill. Enjoy your life in your pretty hair prison, Eric Zane, because you're dumb.
Well, you know, we could always talk about the 2014 Anthrocon chlorine bomb incident where somebody went into the bathroom and set off a bleach bomb.
No.
And,
I didn't realize that happened.
14 people that were in the toilet and send them to the hospital.
Oh,
I think it was like 20 people right around there. Yeah, it's a real thing that happened.
If you had a furry mask on, you might be less susceptible to some kind of gas bomb. Just a little bit, though. Well, Reverend Shitstain, you never really want to promote anything, but what would you like people to do? Do you want them to buy tickets at DabbleCon? What do you want to encourage people to do? We always appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
You know what? I think that Jake Hudson's going to be on with Helga. That's going to be fucking awful. People should watch that because that's going to be horrendous. That's going to be really bad.
Jake Hudson saw me on with Helga, and Jake Hudson would like me to come on his show. And
It's a great experience.
I would be happy to be on with Jake Hudson. I don't want to have Jake Hudson on here, but I'll go on Jake Hudson's show.
Absolutely. Oh, he can bring you the news. He'll sit here and tell you the same story for 30 minutes. Walking back and forth in his trailer.
And then we could have Frankie McDonald give us the weather. All right. Yeah. You're onto something. Well, Reverend Shitstain, thank you. It's always a pleasure. And we look forward to the next time you're able to figure out how to porn bomb John Melendez. I mean, it might be a while.
We were close. We were very close, but somebody got in there and fucked it up. Somebody else had the link. God damn it. But it'll be another time.
Oh, all right. Why? Skola! That's my cup.
Bye.
All right. Bye for now, Reverend Shitstain.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Oh my gosh, I do love that. What do you make of all that stuff, Eric? That shit was crazy, I thought.
I think it's very important for us as old, bewildered men to just acknowledge that it's something so much bigger than us, and there isn't a goddamn thing we can do with it. And if we sit there and don't act like we don't have to embrace it, but don't act like we hate it, because the second we do that, everybody's accuses you of being a stupid old man. And I don't want.
And what I think you can't do is, what you can't do is ignore that it's happening.
No,
you can't put your head in the virtual cartoon sand and pretend it's not here. Matthew Zizzo has the point. Is this guy from Boston and saying furries are actually artists? So I appreciate that. And Annie, I do appreciate your insight in all of this. Had I known, I would have thought to have you and the Reverend on for the segment. But in all honesty, I mean, we did more than 20 minutes on something that I thought was going to be 5. So that's the way that we roll here. Let's try to have a little bit more grounded approach to the world of broadcasting for the rest of the show, Eric. We're going to stay in the world of sports because that's kind of where we are, very tangentially. And again, because I'm what you could consider a Mets cuck. I do watch a lot of Mets games, so I do see things, and I do find some things that I think are fitting for this show. Eric, I think this is going to make you laugh. This was a game where the Mets just got blown out by the Pirates. The Pirates, I believe, hit 7 home runs, and a notice went up on the scoreboard from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Again, Gary Cohen and Keith Hernandez will explain this to us.
The scoreboard that the Pirates, with their 7 home runs, have not only tied a club record, they have run out of the fireworks that they use to celebrate the home run. A lot of fireworks shot off yesterday, not in the ballpark, but downtown in Pittsburgh, and they shot off home runs for the first 6 home runs, but no more fireworks left.
So I love the idea that, okay, I mean, we got some home run hitters, but how much fireworks should we do? I mean, we're not going to need more than 4, but let's go up to 6. Okay. So we'll have 6 home runs worth of fireworks. And then, the Mets are coming into town. You're like, we're not going to hit that many. So I love the idea. Cause look, we've all gotten games where they shoot off fireworks after a home run.
I'm surprised though, that the Mets broadcast parked on that, because it embarrasses the goddamn team.
Yeah, well, that is why I would give my very biased opinion that Gary Cohen, Keith Hernandez, and Ron Darling are the best booth in baseball, as they have been voted, because they've been there for 17 years. I think there have been a lot of bad Mets seasons that they've been there for. If they couldn't talk bad about the team, they wouldn't still be there. They wouldn't have been able to talk for this long.
There'd be nothing to say. They're so goddamn shit. They've been so shitty for so long.
The great Count Eric Connor, how much for a Christian mask? Asking for a softcore pervert. And Count Eric Connor also says that's the best broadcast booth. That's my buddy Eric Connor, who is I don't know what he's sick with right now, but stay away from me.
Oh, nice.
This was somebody I really enjoyed seeing in the chat in our previous episode. Annoyed Wawa supervisor. Why is this in my feed a second day this week? I wanted to have a cigarette out back and relax, but instead I have to see the house husband and overly compressed hour. I believe I'm the house husband because Eric Zane has like 6 jobs. No. Reverend Shitstain, you did not derail the show. We were fascinated by it. I don't give a shit.
It was fine. It was fine.
And he does want to correct, though. He said autists, like autistic people, not artists. Yeah.
Oh,
so I wanted to make sure that was clear.
Yeah, people were mistaking that. I don't know why that they would, because it was pretty clear what he said.
I did too, but you know what, Eric? Not everybody's as smart as you and me. You know, I mean, I think the sooner we come to terms with that, the better it'll be for us. A game involving your Detroit Tigers. This is the Cleveland. I did almost say Indians. The Cleveland Guardians call, and the Cleveland announcer reacts to Javi Baez reacting badly to getting hit by a pitch.
And hit. I tell you what, Salem's just all over the place. Baez chirping. Look, Javi, you're hitting way under 200. Nobody's hitting you on purpose.
I just love that. I like when you can't keep your opinions to yourself.
No, that's so true.
He's chirping at the other team. That's fine. But and it's also true. That Javi Baez contract that the Tigers signed. I'm so glad that the Mets didn't re-sign him after that.
Oh, he's such a piece of shit.
He's absolute garbage.
Oh,
you can always count on him to strike out.
I don't understand how a player can be decent at one point and then suddenly drop off the side of the earth so quickly. That's fucking crazy.
There's a number of theories. Sometimes a change in the substances they're testing for. Somebody gets old, an injury they don't disclose. And the great Carl Hamburger, as a Cubs fan, he is very much familiar. I don't know. There it is. He swings at every slider in the dirt. Yes. If you've got a 2-strike count on Javi Baez, just throw the next one in the dirt and he will definitely swing at it. And are we trying to put the clips up at the same time? Yeah. He was almost a triple crown guy with the Cubs. And the Mets traded for him in the middle of a season, and they gave up a tremendous prospect, and he was not very good for them. But and again, Count Eric Connor has a theory. The Mets have done that to many a great player. You know what? Maybe 3 months with the Mets just ruined the rest of his career. That actually makes sense. I'm going to give a Cardiff Electric Bell here. I think that might be what it is. Another very quick baseball clip. This is a shot in the Twins dugout. It is an entirely visual clip. We will do our best to describe it, but pay attention to the pitcher off in the distance.
Correa hits his 12th home run of the season. We've got a pitching change in Chicago.
How would you describe what we just saw for our audio audience?
Yeah, he took a bottle of like talc or baby powder, opened up his waistband of his baseball pants, and stuck a big pile of powder to clear up his ball sweat.
Yeah, that is Twins pitcher Joe Ryan, who now we all know he's got itchy balls. He just dumped it in there, which I thought sometimes those things make me realize that, Easy is going to enjoy that one. And go ahead and read that one. That's a very funny comment.
Chris writes, if you both try to put the same chat up at the same time, I think technically that's a jinx. Someone owes someone a line of Coke.
Our buddy Carl, the Cubs fan, chimed in a moment ago, and we have this clip from a few weeks ago. A Chicago sports broadcaster for one of the local stations, the Fox station, I believe, he had made a bet during a rain delay that the game wasn't going to be played. And to his word, unlike a former announcer for The Tonight Show, he honored his bet.
So this was my view late Saturday night at Wrigley. It's pouring down rain, no break in the forecast, and my sarcasm got the best of me. If they play this game, because you can see Reynolds Wrap is the sponsor of the tarp, if they play this game, I will wrap my entire body in Reynolds Wrap for my next TV hit. After a 3-hour and 20-minute delay, they played the game in the pouring rain. So Here I am 4 days later, foiled by my own tweets. I am a man of my word.
So, yeah, go ahead. I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
I hope they find out that excessive exposure to tinfoil leads to cancer or something.
Because when the clip started, you were probably like, all right, he looks like an ass, but good for him. And then he said he was foiled by his own tweet.
Yeah.
And I knew you were going to hate this guy.
Yeah, definitely. Without a doubt.
Somebody tag awful announcing. And thanks, producer Kiera and Issa. You killed it. The outfit's amazing. I mean,
so he shouts out awful announcing because that is indeed where I saw this. He knew he was going to end up on there.
I've been watching. People have been doing that. They've been shouting out awful announcing. They've been shouting out John Boy Media, which is something that's very, very funny. I see a lot of baseball. Oh, that's going to be on John Boy. The lip reading is spectacular.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned John Boy because I actually have a clip from them, and I consider John Boy to be a broadcaster, a trusted broadcaster. And they had a very quick viral video from one of their shows of, let's just say, a Chinese girl, an under 18 Chinese player who might have a few inches on everybody else on the court.
Basketball team has a secret weapon. Her name is Zhang Zhao. She's tall. She's way taller than everyone else. It's like me playing against my 2-year-old son. Guess what play they run a lot? Pass it to Zhang. China's U18 basketball team has a secret weapon. Her name is Zhang Zhao. She's tall.
Yeah.
So can you imagine the size of her vagina?
You know, I knew you were going to have something, but nope, that wasn't on my bingo card, Easy.
Zhang, no need. That's vicious. They're so excited. I feel like they got to be watching this and seeing it all the time. They're like reacting like it's the first time, like she just had a growth spurt. Wow, she dishes to the corner, says, you put it up. No, I'll just get your rebound. Oh, man. Picks up her teammate. That's enjoyable. She's very tall. The others aren't tall. She's 7'3". Zhang has averaged 33 points, 11.3 rebounds per game. She
travels every fucking time.
Yeah, I know. If you were actually enforcing the rules, Chris Tuttle, she's an arm job. Yeah, exactly. Go ahead and the great Box Eating Dad. If Box Eating Dad has a comment, it's worth reading. Go ahead.
He says sideways too. You got to double park that.
And she'll be eligible for the WNBA in I think they said 3 years. 3 years, yeah.
That'll be great.
So, you know, on this show we talk a lot about how every mic is a hot mic, and unfortunately, if you're a person of any kind of renown, you should know that every camera is potentially a hot camera. As was found out by a tennis player named Madison Keys. Her coach is also her boyfriend. Funny how that happens sometimes. But they go to show him in the stand. And instead of cutting away, hoping people didn't notice, the announcers make sure that what we think we see is what we really see.
Coaches over the years, and something clicked with the two of them. Not to mention they're doing a house renovation and planning a wedding. So that is a solid couple.
I think when the information comes in from him to her, he is. I'm glad he didn't do what we. Get the camera off him while he's picking his nose.
My God, he went in 3 times.
Yeah, you know, he goes back in, and he did taste it. I saw that, right? He definitely tasted it.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, let's take another look. Let's see. So he goes right in there. That's the first one where he's like, all right, I got to get in there. And all right. No, he just looked at it. You're right. He didn't taste it. Let me not. Yep. And then he goes back in.
Yep. Oh, he's doing the roll. He's doing
he's really got it. Yeah, that's the way I do it when I'm in bumper to bumper traffic on the 405. But I mean, dude picking his nose. What else could I possibly ask for from a tennis match? In all honesty. Well, I want to head back over to the world of talk shows because we had some great talk show clips that I want to make sure we get before we wind down the show. And the first one, it was a story that I honestly learned about on the Eric Zane show. But I think you'll find TMZ's coverage where Harvey, I almost called him Harvey Weinstein, Harvey Levin doesn't actually know the story. Now, you know the story because you talked about it. Elton John was in a shoe store in Nice, France, and they wouldn't let him use the bathroom. So let's enjoy the TMZ coverage of this.
To that store, Sugar Kicks, and immediately, according to the store owner, asked to use their restroom. Said he really needed to go to the bathroom, and the store owner said, "Sorry, we don't have a public restroom." What do you do if you're Elton John?
You tell the guy
you call your security
in your limo to pull out a bottle and then bring the bottle in so the kid can piss in the bottle in the store.
Not the kid, no, it was Elton himself.
I thought it was the kid.
No, it's Elton John.
Asshole.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking listen, he just said it.
He just said it. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and then whoever this third dumb guy is, like, I've seen the other guy who's kind of like the host of the show before, but I don't know who Mr. Purple.
Kids are standing there.
I was wondering how the kids could make the bottle overflow. It was an adult. I thought it was the kid.
No, it's Elton himself. So, yes.
Oh, my God.
So before we get to this happy photo you see there, what other things happened? According to the store owner, he says the security brought in the bottle, and Elton started to relieve himself. He stepped aside from any other customers.
Oh, that's good. Well, Eric, what's the big deal? He stepped away from the customers, and he went and took his yellow brick road out, and he did it over in the corner.
Yes,
and he didn't want anybody. He didn't want anybody to see his tiny dancer.
What a fucking psychopath! God damn it. Jesus Christ.
So Harvey Levin can't believe this.
But
how far can you step aside?
I don't know. The store doesn't seem that big.
No, it doesn't, Charles. I was looking at photos. It looks like a pretty small store. Also, he apparently has bad aim, Elton does, and
he filled up the bottle. It overflowed.
No, it wasn't that. It was overflowing. It was. I know there was another report that said that when we talked to the store owner, he just said that it was more like he missed.
So what do you...
So the reason why I'm showing that story is Harvey, in his head, he had a couple of truths about the story, and all of them were wrong.
Yeah, they were, and the whole idea about he filled it up. Come on, when's the last time you were able to fill up a whole fucking bottle with your piss? You idiot!
Yeah.
And anyone who's ever tried to piss into a water bottle, the opening's so little you can't get your whole cock in there unless you got a real pin. And so obviously,
that might have worked for Elton. Let's.
I don't know. Can you imagine if he's got a big, huge floppy dick? Elton John has a huge dick, kind of like that Asian chick has a huge vagina.
So wait, is that the OnlyFans crossover you want to see? You want Elton John to try to fit inside of the giant Chinese girl? I think that's fine. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about the 405 in the chat. It's like the busiest freeway in the world. Okay, so okay. I didn't know. I'm sorry that I was too local. But Mark Atkinson makes the point. I guess celebrity has its perks. I would have got arrested. Yeah,
exactly.
Not Zane, because he's on Cameo, so obviously they would be able to look you up. And that's the funny part of the story. This clip from TMZ goes on for 2 more minutes. The guy had no idea who Elton John was, right, Eric?
The guy who worked at the shoe store was like, wait a minute, what are you doing? And he says, hey, I'm Elton John. And then the guy did a Google search right there and realized it was Sir Elton John. Shoe store owner didn't make a big deal about it because he realized he had. That's so weird, though, the fact that Elton does that right in front of his kids. And then for some reason takes a picture in the store with his kids. What?
Well, that was the thing that surprised me, because usually most celebrities are protective of their kids. And, look, I think to smooth over the incident, I could see him taking a picture in the store, signing something, whatever they would have wanted. But with the kids, that is a little like, I shouldn't know what Elton John's kids look like. I shouldn't hate one of Elton John's kids because he has a Yankees hat on. Don't do that to me, Reggie.
And can you imagine if you're with your dad and he whips out his cock and pisses in a bottle and you're 10, 11 years old? Jesus Christ.
Imagine. I just have to think back and remember it. Christian
would probably be like, oh, that's so hot.
I mean, look, if Elton John got out his hog in the store, I would have to, I would at least want to get an eyewitness account of his circle of life, as they say. I've run out of Elton John songs, so let's stop talking about the story because I mentioned the 3. Box eating dad. Oh no, did you guys see this? We got to scrub this place for AIDS. I don't even know what that means, box eating dad. I don't understand. The train wreck. Whoa! Breaking news. Lucy Tightbox and producer Chris on the train wreck with Helga and hopefully Lisa Boswell tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Our audio audience, they'll be able to just go find that in the archive. JJ, that is big news. Big if true, as we say in this business. I mean, to get both Lucy Tightbox and producer Chris is the opposite of this.
Nobody cares.
Everybody cares. That's huge news. Thank you for sharing that with us, JJ. All right. We've just got a couple more talk show clips before we try to put this thing to bed. It's been a minute since we've shared any clips from the Drew Barrymore show. And Eric, you'll be glad to know she still sits way too close to her guests, like uncomfortably so, like cringy close. She's still also a terrible interviewer, and also her segments are overproduced. Okay, so all 3 of those things are going to be evidence in this clip with an actress I'm quite fond of, Natalie Portman. I think she's incredibly talented, and honestly, being on the Drew Barrymore show is beneath her. Shame on you, Natalie. You should know better. But we did get this clip out of it.
Speaking of kids, when you were a kid, the person who helped you find an agent discovered you eating pizza somewhere?
Yes.
What did the person say to you in the pizza place, and were you eating a pizza?
Okay, so I got to pause right there for a couple reasons. Eric, how would you describe how close these 2 women are sitting?
Knee to knee.
Yes. They're a half inch away from scissoring, I believe. That's
so
what we were
weird.
Yes.
So weird.
It's so weird.
Has this ever been parodied on Saturday Night Live? Because that would probably work.
They probably like her too much, but I would love somebody to parody this, anyone. And you don't even have to look like Drew Barrymore to do it. But so Natalie Portman's telling the story about being discovered in a pizza shop. And Drew asked the important question. Were you eating pizza? No. I was having a Caesar salad. I'm like 9 in a fucking pizza shop. Yes. I'm eating pizza in the fucking pizza store. Drew?
I was eating a pizza. It was after dance class one day. And then
I think we have pizza here.
I like pizza. Thank you, John. Thank you so much.
So that's something that Natalie Portman has in common with our friend Lisa Boswell. I like pizza. So they both like pizza. So Lisa and Natalie could sit down. Don't worry, Drew has more.
Okay, so you're in a pizza place.
This is great.
And someone comes up to you. What do they say?
He said, I work at Revlon, and he talked to my mom, and he was like, would she be interested in like child modeling or whatever? And it was obviously a little like, is this a real person or a creepy person? But he was.
What would you do as a parent in that situation if somebody comes up to your child of any gender and says, would they be interested in child modeling?
Run or attack, fight or flight. There's only one.
I believe that's why they have Mace. So I guess this would be before she was in the professional. So maybe it's the early 90s. But at the same time, there's something to be said for someone like this presenting themselves to you. And I guess it's the old days, people carried around business cards and you're able to vet them. But this is a frightening interaction.
I think if you look back on Drew's history, if it were her parents, they'd say, yeah, you want to fuck her?
At the very least, they would say, great, let's chop up a few lines here at the pizza shop. And we'll all go to Blowtown and we'll try and sign this deal.
It's actually very nice, and I was not really interested in like modeling, but I really like performing. So I was like, do you know any acting agents? And he introduced me to acting agents.
And that's how it all happened.
Yes.
Stupid.
Yes, I did let the clip go on a little long because
So
I wanted
gross.
that moment where Drew's like, and that's how it all happened. And then she tries to inhale that piece of pizza.
I like how it's frozen on her mouth in an O face.
You know, Eric, wouldn't it be terrible if Cardiff or Reverend Shitstain or anybody who watches this show were to do a screen grab right now and just do something to that image of Drew right there? I think that would be untoward. I should probably take it down really quickly so that doesn't happen, right?
Right. You don't want anything negative to happen.
Yeah. So I should do that, right?
Right. Anytime now.
Okay. Yeah. I'll take it down. Yeah. You're absolutely right. All right. We've got one last talk show segment today, and it basically clicks off our political content for the episode, because in this talk show segment, Stephen Colbert had been away for a few weeks, and he came back. This was the first opportunity he had to talk about the debate between Sleepy Joe and Donald Trump. It had been a few weeks, so he'd had some time to ruminate on it. And he also got a good feeling for where public opinion is. So we're going to take a look at what might be a surprising reaction from Stephen Colbert. Some would even call this the turn.
People are saying this was the worst debate performance of all time, but I don't think that's fair. I think that Biden debated as well as Abraham Lincoln. If you dug him up right now. Now, what makes all of this worse, what makes all of this so painful, is how much Biden had been hyping himself up going into the debate. His campaign even started selling something called Dark Brandon's Secret Sauce, with the tagline, "Get yourself the same performance enhancers Joe Biden took before going on stage." Whatever is in Dark Brandon's secret sauce, evidently Joe Biden chose to drink it out of that chalice from Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade. He chose poorly.
So
those are good jokes. Those are three good jokes.
That's what I was about to say. This is the most entertaining I've ever found Stephen Colbert on CBS. Now, of course, he's long been a cuck for the Democratic Party. So whoever wants to replace Biden on the ticket probably made a call and was like, we're going to need you guys to actually write some jokes. We're going to have you go after Biden.
What's interesting to me is it actually made the NBC Nightly News when the turn took place, because what the fucking Daily Show guy,
Jon Stewart,
he did a 15-minute murder of Biden. This and now, so that became a story that the late night talk show hosts have turned on Biden. It's over. There's no way he's gonna stay at this. If he is, then someone hates him. His family ought to be ashamed of themselves if they don't convince him to not do this.
Yeah. Would you like to hear a couple more Stephen Colbert jokes?
Yeah, I thought those were good jokes, actually.
Now, after the debate, Biden's team tried to put out the fire with a bucket of gasoline, telling reporters that the president's weak performance was because he had a cold. Oh, I hate those summer colds where your voice gets hoarse and your brain explodes. Another issue was that during the debate, Biden looked a little less than fresh, but his aides had an excuse, taking full responsibility for the pale makeup. Pale makeup? You work for Joe Biden. Why do you even own pale makeup? He's already an 81-year-old Irishman. He's translucent.
So you can people can find that entire monologue, and yes, it was definitely entertaining. They were actually telling real jokes, probably jokes that his writing staff would have liked to have told, I don't know, a year ago, at the very least 2 months ago. And they're like, oh, I guess we got to kind of, get in on this this thing now.
Well, I'll say this too. this is being recorded. Does it matter what day I say this is recorded?
It's all right. Yeah, because we kind of let on the fact that we recorded this on Thursday. Yeah.
The 11th of July right now, and in just a handful of hours, Biden is speaking at the end of that NATO thing in D.C. It's normally something that just the White House streams. All the networks are going to cover it because they know he's retarded now, and there's potential for just something cataclysmic to happen when that fucker gets in front of a microphone. It's a big deal now.
Or as he would have said 16 years ago, it's a big fucking deal. But that's a different Joe. I don't usually get to play this clip twice in the same episode, but it is probably going to look and sound something like this.
Nobody cares.
I believe that's what all right. So, Eric, thanks to Reverend Shitstain for giving us that great coverage. I'm still fascinated on that, and he's absolutely right. My YouTube algorithm is going to be fucked for the rest of my life. I'm going to give you a choice. Right now, would you like to enjoy a fun moment in broadcasting history or possibly the worst voicemail that's ever been left? Whichever way you choose, the other one will just get pushed forward into the next show.
Voicemail, please.
Voicemail, please. Yes. So obviously, we've been very lucky to have received some voicemails in recent weeks. I mean, we had one for, I don't know, like the first 9 months of the show. Does that sound accurate, Eric?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And so we finally started to get some. And by the way, you can go to whoarethese.com. And that's where you can, join the Patreon or, become a YouTube member so you can get all the bonus episodes. You'll also get the phone number where you can leave a voicemail for any of the shows. But please say, if it is for this show, please let us know that it is for Who Are These Broadcasters, as this unidentified person did. There's a couple of reasons why this 18 seconds is the worst voicemail ever. I'm going to just let it play through, Eric, and you can comment while it plays, but let's you and I meet up afterwards.
Hey, Carl, this is for WATB. Hey, Eric, you have a lot in you have a lot in common with school shooters and pedophiles, because probably at the end of the day, you want to unload on a child.
What the fuck?
So, not the worst pedo joke I've heard, because I've never heard that before. That's one I've never heard. But he, he fucked it up in the middle. It's not a great joke. Also, what did you do to this guy, Eric?
Well, I think I've made a few kid comments of that. I think he actually believes that.
Do you think that that's really what it is?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I have a slight pedo air, though. I think there is a degree of pedo to me. So that's understandable, actually.
You definitely look like you'd walk up to a girl at a pizza shop and ask if she wants to model for Revlon. I'm not going to lie. That definitely, like, you would be very well dressed, not the way that you're dressed now.
I hear that all the time. I hear that all the time from my grandkids.
Oh, no. Well, Eric, that is our show for this week, and we appreciate everybody who watched live. We hope everybody enjoyed me having some technical difficulties early, but people who complain about the little theme songs for the different segments, I decided not to use them, so this was a gift to all of you.
This is the time that they want it, though. They're like, oh, we miss it. We miss it, God damn it. So.
Please leave us a voicemail about how much you missed those little songs that Doug and the Jingles Party. Oh, Trucker Andy, when the show that you were away, he revealed that he actually played the bass line on one of those. So,
did he? All right,
yeah, apparently, for some reason, you have to cut him a check for every time we played it. It's going to come out of your Cameo. I was going to say winnings, but whatever your takeaway is from Cameo. So speaking of which, let everybody know where they can get a Cameo and where they can find your show.
Fuck the show. Just hire me on Cameo because I'm great. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. You will never find a better person. Some of my cameos are 5 to 10 minutes long.
I did notice there were some long ones, but you only sang in the one that I played.
Exactly. Yeah. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. The best $20 you will spend.
And if you want more of me, check out my show, The Blackcast, BLADTCAST. I was on a recent episode of Who Are These Podcasts talking about a show called Action Boys, the most annoying movie podcast that I've ever come across. So you can check that out. And I was on with Helga Mann recently, but the big news is that producer Chris and Lucy Tightbox are going to be on with Helga. That's, again, big if true. And, you know, I did 2 hours and 53 minutes of Who Are These Podcasts yesterday, Eric. And then right after I was done, I got a message from little Lemmy. Hey, do you want to come on with Quadfather? So then I did 3 hours and 15 minutes with Quadfather.
Fuck.
Yeah, I think I need a hobby. Does that sound accurate?
That's a lot of mic time.
Well, we did get some super chats today. You know, not many, as we say, but I guess because Husey paid in the I was going to say the Queen's currency, but I guess that's the King's currency now. Oh, I can't imagine what British money looks like with that inbred fuck on there. I haven't seen English money with King Charles on it. So that's all the time for this week. As always, I'm Christian Bladt, reminding you that every mic is a hot mic, and Eric Zane is so handsome that I forgot I was a homophobe.